Okay, welcome to today's live workout. Me, Jacko from School of Calisthenics. Woke up this morning feeling grizzly. That's because look how bad that hair is. We may or may not keep the hat on. Let's see. Core workout this morning. Let us know where you're signing in from. If you're watching on the replay later, here's a quick round of what we're gonna get into. So it's going to be a little bit educational for us today. We're looking at the integration of the core. So if you come for a six-pack ab workout, that's not what it's about. We're more interested in what our body can do rather than how it looks. If you train your core effectively and you eat well and all of your other lifestyle factors are in place, you may well then have a low enough body fat to have a six-pack, but we are not training to have the six-pack in itself, in its entirety. Does that make sense? We're looking at the core, its ability to integrate into the rest of your body, into the rest of the kinetic chain. That's so important in calisthenics, whether you're doing levers, whether you're doing handstands, whatever it may be. Or if you just want to move well and enjoy moving your body, whether that's going on to do things like CrossFit or running or any other sports, whatever you do, the job of this core to be able to integrate into the rest of the body is so important. We're looking at its ability to transfer forces. We're then going to look at its ability to maintain alignment, particularly of the spine and the hips. And one of the things that we're going to look at initially, just to start off with, is understanding the fact that your hip flexors down here at the front, when they want to flex the hip, and what they want to do is they want to pull the pelvis into this anterior tilt. So I'll show you that it wants to pull the front of the pelvis downwards into that shape. And we're trying to fight away from that sort of arch in the lower back, trying to maintain a position where we're staying straight through this alignment. So thinking about pulling those ribs, your sternum down, and then tucking your bum underneath. So abs tight, ready to take a punch. Bah! Glutes on, like you're trying to crack a walnut, or it's a windy day and you've got 50-pound oats in your butt cheeks and you don't want to lose it. We're going to look at keeping those two things on. To start with, think about the School of Calisthenics framework. We've got these two main pillars, movement and strength. The movement side of it, so our movement prep work. If we know that these tight hip flexors pull us into this shape, and we're trying to get out of that shape, it's going to make sense to loosen these guys off first. So we're going to do some movement prep to loosen them off. We'll then do a little bit of patterning work to teach the brain, without our hat on, how to teach our brain this alignment that we want, then how to start to provide some of that activation and strength through there with some deadbolts where we're going to be on our back. And then we're going to look at then that strength and control as we go through. We're going to build things up progressively. I'm going to give you some nice little progressions to work from, where we're going to extend lever length and our difference between, or distance between our 2 points of contact with the floor. That's going to, the larger we make that, the harder it's going to be for the midpoint, your core to maintain that alignment, so you'll be able to challenge yourself. And then I've got something a little bit spicy for you at the end as a nice little challenge. But someone the other day tried to mention that, saying, well, my socks looked a bit white. There's a white background with like crazy ass mushrooms on them. And it's like, hold on a minute. Well, these ain't white, are they? Check them out. Power straps. 2. There's 2 is better than 1. So we'll get started. Make sure you're ready. Are we ready for us to interact with you guys in the comments? Are we ready to get started? You're on board for a little bit of an educational session. You understand what it is that we're doing with our training. You're able to therefore then apply it better. So thank you. Give us a little bit of a thumbs up and we will get cracking. Steve from Facebook is in from Denmark. How are we doing, Steve? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining along. So let's look at these then hip flexors. So we're going to start with a kneeling position down onto the floor. What I want to do is when we go into this shape, it's very easy for me to like dump forward into the hips. You can see that arch in the lower back, and that hip is like I'm just leaning forward into it. Again, I'm not really feeling any stretch, really little on this front leg is working now. I need to push back. I want us to think about tucking that pelvis and really see the difference between here and then. Because actually there, when you're dumping out into that lunge position, you're probably going to feel it on that lower back because you're just shortening and pushing those vertebrae. So what we're going to do is chuck the pelvis underneath. We're going to squeeze hit that. Check that it's out. That should be rock hard on. So squeeze that bum, and then you're going to feel that through that hip flexor. So I want us to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Everyone, up the intensity of that a little bit. You can then push your foot into the floor whilst squeezing that bum as well for 5 seconds. So I'm going to push down into the floor through there, at the same time squeezing the bum. So push into the floor, squeeze it on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Then if you want to up the ante one more time, I'm going to raise that back leg, and then you're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to push down into my hand. I'm going to squeeze my bum on that side at the same time. 5, 4, don't lose balance. 3, 2, 1. Good. The final one would be, if you want to do a bit of a double hander, we can go for that as well for our last rep. So, well, only you don't have to stay on the easiest. Stay here if that's where you need it to be. For me, I want to get a bit of extra stretch on. So, push into the foot, push the foot down, squeeze the bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So it should be that nice straight line through the rest of, or from your knee to your hip to your shoulder. So as with any of these, working through even just this prep work, working through some progressions, I want you to make sure that's the same leg. Swap legs. You turn around and keep the same knee on the floor. It's no different, Jacko. Swap legs. So right knee for me now is down, not dumping forward, pulling back, maintain that straight line. Knee, hip, shoulder, bum tucked underneath. Easiest version is just think about squeezing that bum and getting around. You'll feel that stretch down the front of there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. This time, we're going to have a go. Push that foot down into the floor as well as squeezing that butt. 5, 4, push down. 3, 2, 1. Good. Then we can have a go. What's it like? So here, let's not try to lean forward too much. Maintain your balance. Push your foot down into your hand. So bang, pushing down that way. Resist it, and then tuck that bum underneath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax it off. And then stay there if that's what you're at, or stay with the one on the floor. If you want to come with me for this, for the last one with the double hander, hold that there. Push in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So that we should be feeling a release or a stretch on the front. What we're trying to do is get ourselves prepared for being able to tuck this and breathe and keep those ribs down and the pelvis from stopping, dropping out into that anterior tip of the front side is going down. So we're going to spin myself around. We're then going to look at trying to activate in this position. So these dead bugs, a lot of you will have done dead bugs before with us. So we'll just run through very quickly. Once I've adjusted those badass socks, guilty. Right, so line that down on the floor. The great thing about this is the floor is going to give you the feedback you need. The floor is going to be your coach now, not me. Just listen to me, you feel the floor, be it one with the floor. Your lower back, when you're lying in this position, I can lie in this position, you will feel the floor, and I can create a space. Look, you see it underneath my back? Like, that's poor alignment. I want to pull that down. So you see this, I'm pulling ribs down, and then tucking pelvis underneath, just like we were doing in that stretch. You can see now why it's relevant. So, outside line rotating punch, pressing my lower back down as well. I can feel that lower back on the floor. I should be able to track my t-shirt underneath. From there, I'm going to pull my knees up, have those thighs vertical, hands are up vertical. So I'm going to hold in there. I'm going to take my opposite hand, so left hand and right foot away from each other. I'm going to hold that position and come back through. And I'll swap sides. Do this. You've got your coordination now as well. But the big important thing is that when you squeeze back up, or when you're going down, at any point in this movement, your lower back is on the floor. If that's easy, let's see what it's like when we take both hands away. Can you maintain position of your lower back on the floor? Head resting on the floor as well. The thing people do is they create a lot of tension around the neck and around the front of the chest by coming up here, rather than let the head relax on the floor, keep that spine in neutral at the top, and then your focus then has to be purely on what's going on down at the bottom there. Okay, so what you're going to do is, whether you're going to go opposite arm, opposite leg, you only go as far out as you can control the position. At any point you feel your lower back come off the floor, reset, come back, and only go out as far as you can control it. We're going to do a set of 12 We're going to do a set of 12 to just fire up the core and get ourselves ready. Andrew Barnes, you haven't seen me, right? I'm seeing you now on YouTube, Andrew. Okay, so thanks everyone. How are we getting on Instagram as well? JD saying, so confused you're on this one, Jacko. Sadie, what's confusing? Not sure. Okay. James Ellis on Instagram. How are we doing as well? Gospel on Instagram. Okay. So 12 reps. Let's fire up the core. Get ourselves. You choose whether you go opposite arm, opposite leg. You don't really go as far as you can control it. So tuck underneath. Lower back is on the floor. I'm going to go with me. 3, 2, 1 on the way down. Hold for 2. And then back up. There's 1, 3, 2, 1. Hold on the way down. Back up. There's 2. So stay on that tempo with me. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back up. There's 3. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back up. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back up. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back up. There's 6 halfway. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back up. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Back up. 8. Hold. 9. 10. Good. Last 2. Keep your lower back on the floor. Lower back's on the floor the whole time. 11. Last 1. Lower back. Feel the floor. Feel the floor. Feel the floor. Hold. Back up. Nice. How'd that feel? How did that feel? We should feel these guys starting to be warmed up, engaged. You're thinking about maintaining that lower back on the floor the whole time. You're staying strong in here. Stay strong, stay strong. Telling the brain, this is the shape I want to make. I don't want to be in this shape. We've loosened off those hip flexors, so you've got a better chance of being able to do that too. And now our job is to lock that feeling and position in of what that feels like. And then we're going to now challenge ourselves with a little bit of strength and control, gradually making it a little bit harder. So, your starting point, our first one is going to be a bear crawl. So we're going to start on all fours. So start kneeling. And the first thing you can do is in this shape. Now you haven't got the feedback of the floor to teach you where that sort of nice alignment is. But this is the same position as this. You're just now in what we would call a prone position on your front rather than supine on your back. But you've now got to figure out where that position in that middle position is. So one thing that can be good for that is drop the pelvis down as low as it will go, and then round it the other way as far as you can go. And then you know the middle point of those two things is where the centre is. So you can do a couple of reps of that, just feel where that is, and then try to create that same feeling as where you're on your dead bug. From there, push down into the ground, raise the knees up off the floor. Hold that shape, suck the belly button in, and then we're going to look at moving forwards and backwards. And what I want you to think about is every time you move in, how many reps you're doing? I don't know, I don't mind. I just want you to have a play. I just want you to feel. But every time you move with precision, and make sure that when you do move, my spine, this shape here, through my lower back and my spine, my pelvis doesn't move. It just stays completely stationary. Yeah? So you're moving your hands and your legs around, but you're maintaining and controlling that core alignment. Okay? Once that feels good, that's just a little bit of play. We're just teaching ourselves gradually to make this more difficult. We're starting to just feel and integrate also the shoulder and the hips moving whilst maintaining that alignment and start to transfer some low level forces there initially. Your next one I want us to look at is coming from that position. So you're going to walk 1 forward, 2, and then walk back, 1, 2, back to your start position. And then from there, we're going to look at rotating around, and then you're going to come onto your back position. And then from there, we're going to squeeze the bum to try and get the hips up as high as possible, squeeze the shoulders back and drive them up. And then we're going to see whether can we do a little bit of walking forwards and backwards in this position, just to get us thinking about controlling the pelvis and the hips, whilst now in a more supine position, but we're not resting. You are able to fire up that whole posterior chain rather than dumping down here. The higher I can stay, the better. Squeezing those shoulders back. If I like try and work really hard here and to stay high the entire time. Oh, the difference there between here is huge. So try and stay high. And then when you're ready, rotate back around to your start position. Okay, and come and have a little how we getting our. Is there a problem on the old Instagrammer? Someone said you can't see it on Instagram. Maybe you can now. Oh, I'll start here. Okay. So, right. Okay, so into the core session. So looking at, going to go around and we're going to look at going from this position where we were rotating onto our back, and then this time we're going to try it from a kneeling, from an elbow plank position. So from here, we're going to rotate round, swivel, let that elbow rotate, and then you're going to come on to your back, keep the hips up, hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then rotate around, back to that plank position, and then we're going to swap round the other way. So rotate, swip around, hold that there, raise the hips up, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rotate back through to our plank position, hold that there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So we see now we're down on our elbows, the arms are straight, but we've straightened out the length of our body, and see how that feels in terms of rotating through that shape and being able to maintain that alignment. When we rotate the body all as one. The next one up is we're going to go to a press up position and do the same thing. So press up, we're going to rotate around, we're going to come all the way through, hands down, squeeze up, hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rotate back through, hold that for there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rotate again, come around, hold, keep yourself high, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last one, rotate back to your start position, and then hold that there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest down there. So now we see the difference between straightening the arm compared to having the elbows bent. And then we're looking at some of that rotation pattern, and we're on the front, rotating through, integrating into the shoulder, maintaining that alignment the whole way around. So whether you're on your front or whether whilst we're rotating, this alignment is staying, we're not dumping out into that shape. And then we're getting then onto our back, into that chest up position, and then having to work against gravity the other way to maintain that alignment. If we want to make that then a little bit progressively more difficult, we can start to lengthen out the distance between our points of contact on the floor. So I'm just going to adjust ourselves here. So we're going from our press up position. You can walk your hands forward a little bit, and then from there, or slide your feet back, whichever way. But now I've got a much greater distance between my hands and my feet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look to rotate around, come through, put that hand then down onto the floor, get yourself straight, squeeze bum, hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the same thing, come back. Let's start to see how slowly we can rotate through this position, because the challenge I've got for you towards the end is going to need you to be super slow and controlled. So keep going slow and controlled as we can. Keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating. Squeeze there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then rotate. Again, the same thing. Rotate. You can rotate as slowly, as slowly, as slowly, as slowly, as slowly, as slowly as we can. Okay? I'll probably end a bit forward on that last rep. We want to look at trying to create that length a little bit further. So we're going to go for one more of those. And we're going to try and hold that position. Okay? So you with me? We're going to now extend out our hands and our feet a little bit further. Yes, you're going to feel it into the shoulder. We're integrating the core into the shoulder in this. And then we're going to try and keep and maintain that position, so it's still having the hands and the feet further apart, so like a long push-up position. So neck position, try and keep the head in neutral. So rather than dumping it forward here, we're trying to pull. Think about lifting the top of your head nice and high and keeping the chin tucked backwards rather than dumping it forward. That'll be the same throughout any of the stuff that you're doing. Okay, so press up position. Walk the hands further forward, slide the feet a bit further back, so challenge yourself in this long position now, and then we're going to start rotating. Rotate, 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 slow, 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 hands there, squeeze, hold that, 3, 2, 1, then we're going to slide, back, rotate, 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 and then staying in that shape we were at before. So our hands are quite far forward, which is good. That's where I started. Then we're going to start rotating the other way. Slow and controlled. Good. And then high. 3, 2, 1. And then slowly back. Stay away from that hand. So you end up in the same start position you were at before. Good, rather than ending up back in that shape, having crept forward each time you rotate through. So that's just, we're extending the distance between those 2 points of contact on the floor, which is making the midsection work a little bit harder. Okay? And then our last one then is challenge. We're going to take away some points of contact on the floor. So just get yourself set up. We're going to go show you two positions. So we're going to go press up position, opposite hand, opposite leg, plank. So let's hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swap sides. Don't rotate. Keep everything set in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Come back down to your knees. Rotate then. Just get yourself onto your back, and then you're going to come up into this shape, and then you're going to try and see whether you can take away one hand. Ooh. on one foot, swap over, opposite hand, opposite foot. Bend the knee slightly, gonna make it easier than being straight. Okay, so you can see it's difficult. The challenge, if you're willing to accept it, is linking those two things together. So I'm going to go left hand on the floor, right foot on the floor. In here, I'm going to rotate, I'm going to bring this leg, swap it over, and then come into that position, and then swap them back before trying the other way. Opposite hand leg, come through, swap the leg round, hold in there, much better on this side, swap, and come through, I'm going to go again, that one before was rubbish. There we go, and then swap, and come through, do the other side to finish, rotate, round, there we go. A little bit of a challenge for your core, your shoulder, and your balance to finish up on. Anyone having a go at that final one? Just a little check-in. That's your final one to finish. Let me know in the comments if you're having a go at that last one. Salmon 3005 saying that was a fun one to have a go at. Anyone else jumping on? Anyone else let me know in the comments how to go, like thumbs up or thumbs down, it was too hard. Let me know what you thought. Last one, definitely a challenge. Matt Unwin, that's tricky. Yeah, thanks for having a go. It's just, we're starting to take, when you start to play around with those points of contact on the floor, was increasing the stability demand around the whole thing. So literally your glute connected to that foot that's on the floor, your shoulder connected to the hand that's on the floor, and then the core's job to maintain that position whilst there. It's a nice little challenge for us. Chris Bound saying shaky bakey, Mark Bully, really feel that in the shoulders as well. Testing the stability and balance, exactly. So that's the title of the session was integrating the core. So not just isolating the core on its own, integrate it into the rest of the kinetic chains that's coming up into the shoulders, and as well as down then into the lower extremities as well. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of something completely different to play around with your with your core training, and making you think about how you might train the core slightly differently sometimes. There's nothing wrong with isolating the core to make something stronger for a specific purpose or thing that you're working on, but don't forget about the core's main job is around stabilizing the pelvis and the spine and being able to maintain those alignments. So challenging it to be able to maintain those positions with strength and control is imperative to having a good, solid core foundation, which the rest of our strength and our movement capabilities are built upon. So Emma might just build up some more wrist strength. Good challenge, didn't quite finish it. Yeah, the last one was difficult to finish, but think about everything we started from that bear crawl was working on the ability to maintain some of your body weight onto your hands and your wrists. So you're starting to progressively build that up the more time you spend on your hands and your wrists, and that's going to help you for your things like your handstands and what as well. What you don't want to do is like just jump hammer and tongue into balance, into like putting strain onto your wrists with the whole body weight. Whereas here we're supported by our feet, and then we're doing like one foot and then the other, so that we're just building that up progressively. Bushproof on YouTube, thanks Jacko, no worries. Thank you guys for joining in and watching, for following along, having a go. Someone on Instagram finding it easy. Good, glad you smashed it. Great, lots of love from Hitesh in India. Body Gear, how are we doing? Right, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to sign this one off now. If you want to, we're maintaining these live workouts. This week, George is doing shoulder mobility, so that one had to get cancelled last week, but he's doing shoulder mobility tomorrow. Tim is doing a live webinar that's free inside the virtual classroom about injury prevention on Wednesday. Thursday, there is no session on Thursday, but Coach Owen is back on Friday at 11 a.m. for some full body conditioning. So if you want to get updates on when and notifications of all the live workouts, the WhatsApp notification system is still up and running, and you just need to send a WhatsApp message, I want to join, to +44 7883 161 433. So +44 7883 161 433. And that will get you, the details are in the description in YouTube. If you head over to YouTube, all of the details for all of our, you've got that WhatsApp group, but you've also got our 50% off online memberships offer is there. Subscribe to YouTube as well. We're getting close to 100. We're trying to get up to 100,000 on YouTube, so we appreciate your support on YouTube. And the benefit of getting over and subscribing to YouTube is all of these live workouts we do all get uploaded onto YouTube, and so you can watch them back at any time. There's playlists at home, follow along, like all the core ones are in a playlist together, so you can have a search through those playlists and check all of them out whenever you wish, and watch them back at a different time, follow along, do a workout, whatever it may be that you want to do. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jacko from the School of Calisthenics. We've done some core and we've integrated it into the rest of the kinetic chain. Thanks for watching. Till next time, class dismissed.